Well, last night I did a Zoom meeting on our closed Facebook group called Lesko Help, and I screwed it all up. I haven't used Zoom in a long time, and there were 140 some people that signed up, and God, I really screwed up, man. As an old man, I just mess up lots and lots more often, but I'm getting used to it, so it doesn't bother me. I just feel sorry for the other people who have to put up with me. But this is the video I really wanted to do, and I sort of did it, but I couldn't turn off the microphones of other people. We hear people, washing dishes and everything. So this, what I think is the most important thing people should know about the money available to everybody. No matter what age, no matter what income, no matter. I mean, actually, the incomes go up to $200,000, and that's for the grants. And then if you're a business, it goes up to you can be a millionaire and get grants for business. So it's all kind of incomes and also the amounts. And the amounts are staggering for grants to me for individuals. I mean, up to $50,000 almost. For some of these people who are just struggling. So for an extra $50, 50,000. So I want to go through what this thing is, the Corona stimulus package, a relief package. They have all kind of names for it. And here's a graph what it is. It's called the CARES Act. Um, I forget what the heck that means, but you see here direct payments are $290 billion. So out of the 2.3 trillion, some people say 2.2. Who's counting? But direct payment, see, that's not even a grant, but it is free money. They just give you cash, check, they put it in your bank, stuff like that. That's what you get, for that. So that's why if you're asking for grants, don't ask for grants. You're just looking for what kind of help's available. Because if you ask for grants, say, no, we just have direct payments. I'm sorry, we can't help you. Yeah, which is stupid. So don't do that. Okay, now unemployment benefits, that's another cash in your bank. They're giving you that, even if you're working. So it's crazy. And you don't have to be a normal person like you thought unemployment was for only people have traditional jobs. No, it's for people who don't even work anymore or never worked and things like that. It's crazy. You got to learn it. Okay, tax breaks. Now that's another action, money in your pocket because you don't have to pay the tax man for that. So that's extra money in your pocket. That's $300 billion. Okay, loans. Now this is mostly business loans, but half of it is turned into a grant. So you get a grant for your business or small business or whatever the heck your home based business is, and you don't have to pay it back because you used it for living, for paying your employees, stuff like that. So it's what they call a forgiven loan. So that loans up. Now, okay, here's the only grants. So 230 billion out of 2 trillion. Yeah, we got 10% is called grants. So you're missing 90% of all the money if you're just looking at grants. Now here's other spending, which I'm not even sure what the heck that is. Okay, here's how it goes. Who gets it? Okay, households, that's you, me, everybody who lives in a house, they get 600 billion. Large businesses, they get about the same, 500 billion. Airline industry gets 70. Small businesses get 600. State municipalities, FEMA, healthcare providers. I mean, they only got 185. Shouldn't they be getting more? Maybe I don't know what. Yours, mine's not the reason why. Probably yours isn't either, because you have no control over it. But the point is to use it. Okay, here's where to start. Let me show you this video here of I hope you could hear this, and I think you can, of a woman who heads up the Maryland office that gives out money for people struggling. Okay, listen to this. It's only 2 minutes, so you could listen to a bureaucrat for 2 minutes.
The Secretary of the Maryland Department of Labor. Right now, unprecedented actions are being taken to save the lives of Marylanders as our government responds to the coronavirus pandemic. And our team at the Department of Labor is doing everything in our power to support and protect our state's businesses and workforce. Unfortunately for some, however, unemployment has already become a reality during these difficult and uncertain times. So I want Marylanders to know that Labor's unemployment insurance program is fully operational and remains dedicated to helping both employers and employees who've been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. I also ask for your patience and understanding. Maryland has experienced a significant surge in the number of new claims being filed. This is not only happening in our state, it's happening across the nation. In just 1 week, our team has received over 42,000 new unemployment insurance claims. This number is truly unprecedented. As a result, customers are facing longer than usual wait times by phone, and some are experiencing challenges on our website. While we have expanded our call center hours and added servers to increase online speed and capacity, we know it's not enough. So we continue to make changes to accommodate this surge. During this time, I strongly encourage Marylanders to file their claims using our online application, which is available 24/7 at mdunemployment.com. For faster processing speeds, please try to file during off hours, like early in the morning or late in the evening. Maryland does not have a waiting period like many other states do, so if you've been laid off, you can file your claim immediately. However, please keep in mind, as our systems are overloaded, that it's not a race to file your claim. No matter when or how a claim is filed in Maryland, benefits are calculated from the date of eligibility, not the date the application is submitted. And speaking of eligibility, we have expanded that to make sure everyone is covered during this state of emergency. Maryland is now allowing workers who have not been terminated to collect unemployment insurance if their employer has been closed by COVID-19, if they've been quarantined, or if they're caring for a family member who is quarantined. Also, in light of current market conditions and the need for social distancing, we've temporarily waived all work search requirements for benefit recipients. To learn more about unemployment insurance and other ways the Department of Labor is helping our small businesses and workforce during this public health emergency, please visit labor.maryland.gov. We're here for you, and we will get through this together.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? I mean, this is, and what you're getting now in this program, by the way, listen to her. You don't have to look for a job. You don't have to be fired. Well, I got audio on. You don't have to be fired. All kinds of things. You could be a gig worker. You could be self-employed. You could have a little internet business that just can't get going or whatever. You try. I mean, I'm just reading what I hear. The real person who decides whether you get it is the person at your state government. So don't trust me. Don't trust anybody else who's telling you what's available until you talk to the horse's mouth, and that's your state. Here's the listing of the kinds of people. First of all, here's what you get from two. You get the unemployment that the state has, and that ranges from like $300 to $700 a week. Plus, you get an extra $600 from the federal government. So that's up to $1,200 or more per week. Man, so that's like $4,800 a month, which is $50,000 or more a year of unemployment. When have you ever heard of that? I never had. So this is not your parents' unemployment, man. Okay, and the average employed worker only makes 4,000. So you're getting more money to not work than you are to work. Okay, most states offer about 26 weeks of payments, and the federal government increases that 13 more weeks. So whatever your state has for unemployment, as long as you can get it, the federal government says you're going to get it 13 more weeks after that. So it's a total of almost 10 months. Okay, here are the reasons you could get it. You lost your job. You're self-employed. Okay, part-time workers who lost their job because of coronavirus. And the state doesn't cover part-timers. See, your state doesn't even cover part-timers, but now they have to because of this new law. Okay, you cannot work for a wide variety of reasons. Somehow coronavirus stopped you from working, then you're eligible. That's what this says, but you have to check, remember. Gig workers, the gig economy, like you're a pet walker and stuff like that, you're covered. Freelancers, I don't know, maybe you do some freelance writing at home, you're covered. You take care of a family member who has COVID-19, you're covered. Your child or loved one cannot go to school. Wow. There's only 10% of the school kids are going to school. Everybody's home. So if you have to stay home because your child can't go to school, you're covered. A healthcare provider advises you to stay home. Oh, Sally, I don't think you look well. You better rest at home. You're covered. Unable to get work because of a quarantine. You're covered. You were about to start a new job, but can't because of the outbreak. Boy, I'm going to start my new job tomorrow, but boy, they closed down. You're covered. You had to quit your job because of quarantine or daycare closed. You're covered. Unemployed, partly unemployed, unable to work because the employer closed down. You're covered. This is a sad one. The breadwinner of your household died. I mean, they're talking about maybe a couple 100,000 people dying. You're covered. Independent contractors, you're covered. Workers not covered by state unemployment. Did I hear that right? Workers not covered by state unemployment. You're covered. So you're going to an office that's not supposed to cover you, but you're covered. Now that's crazy. Workers already receiving unemployment. So if you're getting it now, unemployment, you get an extra 13 weeks plus $600 extra a week. You're covered. If employment runs out, you get another 13 weeks plus $600 a week. I mean, it's just phenomenal to me. And you don't know how far back that goes. Maybe you stopped getting unemployment a couple months ago. Well, check. You may still be covered for 13 more weeks. You have to check and check with your office. And, and it's just it's phenomenal. Now, if you don't know where to go, if you go to actually you Google your state and just say apply for unemployment. Uh, and COVID-19 is a good word to put it, or Career One Stop. CareerOneStop.org is a place you can find all the unemployment offices for every state, and it's a drop down for the state. So this report, members get for free, and it has all this stuff in it. So I mean, that's just phenomenal to me. That's why never before in the history of the United States, and we're giving out so much money, to people, to so many people. Okay, now here's another one. Okay, this one, look at this one. Okay, 80% of adults in America will receive $1,200 to $3,000 for government corona stimulus grants. And the income level of that goes from if you make $75,000 or less, or a couple makes $150,000 or less, you get the whole amount of money. After $75,000, you still get the money, you still get a grant, but it's a little less. And that goes up to $99,000. So you can be making $99,000 and still get a government grant. If it's a couple, you can be making $198,000 and still get personal grant money from the government. Okay, now this is going to be coming through the IRS. It's a little complicated, so you got to be a little wary of it because if you pay taxes this year or last year, you'll get the check. Social Security people will get the check. People with disability will get the check. But how do you, if you haven't paid in a few years or whatever, and all that, and there's all kinds of if, ands, or buts they haven't really worked out that you see somewhere. So the way to get that answer is your elected official. You have a congressman and senator. You have two senators and a congressman every place in the United States. Let's see, where is I had that here. Well, if you go to the this website, it's called commoncause.org, and then slash find FIND, then dash your dash representative. And you put in your zip code, your address, and you'll list all the elected officials, your senators, your congressmen, even your state people, and everything. They're the people to complain to because they could handle it. Okay, you could call IRS, but I doubt that's going to work for a while. So don't worry about it. Okay, here's another thing you better worry about is what it does is you don't have to pay your rent, mortgage, credit card, and everything. Not really. You're going to have to pay it sometime. But what they've done, and it's not a law, so the organizations may or may not do it. You have to call the people you owe money to. I mean, if you have a federally backed mortgage, they have to do it. They have to give you up to 12 months of not paying your mortgage, plus no penalties and no interest. Okay, 12 months, no penalties, no interest. Okay, uh, and what the government is doing is not requiring because it's not, is suggesting that all the credit card people do this, all the banks do this, all the auto loans do this, and a lot of them are jumping on board because the associations that run these companies, they're trying to encourage people to do this. And so a lot of their members are doing it, so you could do it. Okay. Now, so it's best to call them right away. Don't wait, because you could get this, without having to pay anything. So just think if you relieve of your burden right now, because in a couple of months you'll be getting this other money coming in, and we'll probably be over maybe in 6, 8, 10 months for the whole thing. But everybody's guessing. Uh, and the only thing that's not covered in here is rent, but it can be covered this way. You call the landlord and they said, hey, there's a government agencies are now saying that we could for what they call forbearance, redo your contract with them, so you postpone your payments without an interest and penalty. Okay, now, and up to 12 months. So they say no because I have to pay my mortgage. Well, you tell them how they don't have to pay the mortgage, okay? So the Federal Housing Finance Agency, tell them to call their mortgage person and they could get their mortgage payment deferred, okay? So if they don't have to pay mortgage, then they don't have to lean on you to pay rent, right? And then that goes away. So that's it. It's going to take effort on your part. That's the key to that. Everything takes effort. Now, also, there's a lot of taxes you don't have to pay anymore, or they postpone and everything. Here's a ThomsonReuters.com, tax relief offered by states and localities in response to the virus. So, so check, before you pay any taxes or worry about, call that office and ask about the relief that they may have for paying your taxes. Okay, here's another thing. What Maryland does, and some other states are going to be doing this too, I would imagine, that you can now apply for health insurance on Obamacare plan or whatever we call it now. And because we had an open enrollment back in November, December, and it was closed, so you can't apply anymore. But now they're opening it up here in Maryland till April 15th for you to apply. So you could apply for that. Now you could always apply for Medicaid. So if you go to your healthcare.gov and put in whatever state you're in, you'll be directed to your state program, and you could always apply. So if you're not making a lot of money, that you could get Medicaid for that, and that's open all year round. You don't have to worry about when that is. Okay, now for businesses, there's a lot of money for businesses too, and your business could be like me. Here, I'm in my apartment. I work on the internet, and make some money that way. If you're any kind of business, any kind of freelancer, any kind of thing, there's other money, and that's loans and forgivable loans, and it's huge. You get up to $10 million on this stuff, and they forgive it if you use it for paying employees or yourself, I guess, because you need living expenses. That's what they're trying to do. A place to find out about that is America's, AMERICAS, and then SBDC.org. They have offices all over the country. They're free. You can make an appointment and talk to them. Also, you find out about that as you're Maryland. In your state, I'm sorry, I said Maryland because every state has a state office of economic development, the people who take care of businesses, because they want to take care of businesses because you employ people, employ yourself or whatever. So here's the one for Maryland. They have all these programs. They have grant programs. I think you get up to $10,000. Not even, it's not a forgivable, it's outright grant. You could have and then loans that are forgivable and cheap loans and all kinds of here, the Emergency Loan Relief Fund, Emergency Grant Fund, Emergency Relief Manufacturing Fund. And then it goes into other programs you could use as a business, at the national level. So all that. So you see, you have your local level giving out money, and then your state level and the federal level. See, it's all over, and that's what's amazing. I had something else I want. Oh, I know. Here's Common Cause. Okay, commoncause.org. This is what it looks like, and this is where to go if you have problems with it. You're trying to figure out that thing about employment, if you're considered or not, or you're right, you don't think it's right or whatever. First of all, call the office if you can. You can't go to most offices, but online you could apply, and then phone call. And you may have to wait online on the phone for an hour and a half, but who the hell cares? We're all locked up for probably another month. So another hour or two on the phone doesn't mean anything. Just leave it on speaker and go about your business till they answer. and it's important. Um, and if that doesn't work, then you call your elected official, your two senators and your congressman, and that's how to get how to move the bureaucracy if it's not proven, or even get the facts. You don't think that's right, or maybe you're again call back again and talk to somebody else. Man, you talk to two bureaucrats, you get two answers. Like you could take your tax return to five different accountants and get five different answers. So it's like that with everything in life. So that's why don't trust just one answer. Make sure you get a backup answer to make sure. And the most important thing you have to get more money out of this is you and your personality. Remember, how you treat this bureaucrat on the other side of the phone or the text or whatever is a function of how much money you're gonna. Don't forget, they probably have 50 people on hold they're waiting to get, and they're all pissed off because they had to wait for an hour and a half. But if they come to you on the phone and you say, oh my God, you must be going crazy, man. Everybody calling you and beating you up. Man, well, I'll try to get off the phone as quickly as possible, but thanks for being there. Yeah. And thank these people for what the hell they're doing, man. They're trying to save the rest of our asses. And most people just want to beat them up. You don't have to do that because they have the power to hang up on you and not do anything for you. They get the same paycheck. You don't have control over them, so you're complaining. But who's going to pay attention? Especially now. So that's why it's you and your personality, how much you're going to get from them. And remember that you have the key, to getting more money is in you and how you treat people. So remember that. So I got, if you're a Lesko, a member of Lesko Help, I'll send you this whole report. Otherwise, you can figure it out through the video here. And I hope it helps. Remember, this is the biggest source of money ever given out by the government. And for incomes up to $200,000 for personal grants. I mean, that's amazing to me. And there's enough money here to give every household over $12,000 a piece. And that's just in grants, not loans. Well, thank you. You're looking for Lesko Help. It's at lesko, Lesko.com.